Hey there, Comic Frontline. It's Mr. J here from Mr. J's Comic Reviews, and I am back once again as your resident Riverdale correspondent. We're going to take a trip back to Riverdale for another review of Archie, and this is Archie issue number six. I know I missed a couple Archie reviews. I apologize for that, guys. But I'm here to review the most recent issue, and I got the Marguerite Sauvage variant cover, which is pretty awesome. I got the Derek Charm variant cover. Although I like the Marguerite Sauvage variant cover, which I used as a thumbnail for this video, a lot better. Even though I like all the variant covers, actually. But anyway, enough about the cover. Let's get into the story, because this is my favorite Mark Waid book on the shelves right now. All New, All Different Avengers isn't really doing it for me, but Archie sure is. Let's get into it. So, we've got Betty over here. She's at one of her softball games. And, of course, to get into the zone and to get a really good hit, her technique is she imagines the ball as, of course, somebody she really, really wants to hit. And, of course, that somebody is none other than the lovely Miss Veronica Lodge. And she knocks the ball out of the park. So much so that it's, like, all the way into the parking lot. And it knocks some poor schmuck in the head. Who's that poor schmuck? None other than Archie Andrews. Poor Archie suffers a concussion and has to go to the hospital, and because Archie is out of commission, Ronnie, poor Veronica Lodge, is left waiting for her Archiekins, and Archiekins doesn't show up. But you know who does show up? Fucking Reggie. Reggie. So Reggie, he tries to be like, "Hey babe, you want to ride?" And I love Veronica in this scene, because Veronica just looks at his car and looks on the inside. She goes, "Ugh, not in this heap. Our gardener drives one of these." That was hilarious. Oh my god. I love Veronica, and that's one of the reasons why. Her sass and her fire, I love that. So, back to the Betty front. After the game, she ends up hitting it off with one of the school's new baseball players. His name is Saeed. And, they end up going to Pops' mulch shop. In the meantime, go back to the Reggie and Veronica story. We've got Reggie, who's trying to impress Veronica, to no avail, because, obviously, Ronnie is head over heels for Archie. Nothing can replace Archiekins, no way. And, so, a really funny part, to continue on the gardener joke, right? We get to Veronica's house. And Veronica's dad is like, "Oh," he's talking to the gardener. He's like, "Oh, Jorge, your car's back from the dealer, or your car's back from the shop. Thanks, boy." And he gives fucking Reggie a tip, thinking that is actually the gardener's car. That was hilarious. So Reggie, he realizes that he's not the big deal he thought he was, and Veronica Lodge and her dad, that's the real big deal. So, what he decides to do, he goes into his house. We find out his dad's like an absentee dad, being a huge media mogul in this, small town. But his dad's an absentee, and so he has daddy issues. Obviously, Ronnie does too, but that's a whole different story. We'll get to that later. And Reggie decides to tell Veronica's father that, his dad's running an expose on him, and he's like, I can be your inside man in the local media. I can help, keep track of any stories on you and blah, 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 blah. Basically, he wants to just be in their orbit and ride their coattails until he can finally be somebody worth something, because, Reggie just doesn't value himself like that. So, I guess that adds dimension to Reggie, but I honestly don't care about Reggie. Anyway, moving on to more Veronica stuff. We've got Veronica is kind of trying. She basically has somebody to write her diary for her. She has a lady who it's almost like also a therapy session where the lady tells her about her day. She tells the lady about her day, and she's talking about Archie and why she loves Archie and what made her fall in love with Archie, and it's because of the fact that Archie was able to make her laugh. The way to a girl's heart is through a sense of humor, which is why people like us nerds who aren't the most attractive or the most built or the most athletic, we get the ladies through jokes and quips, which is what we learned from Spider-Man. Um, but anyway, so she tells the story about how like when her house got knocked over, like the first time when it was first being built by Archie, her dad didn't get a good look at him, but she saw Archie and she saw the look on his face, and the look on his face was priceless to her. It made her laugh so much, and the fact that he was able to get that much of a rise out of her dad, uh, like also kind of attracted her to him because that's basically what she does. Like why she bugs her dad all the time and makes all these outlandish requests because she wants a little bit of attention and a little bit of love from daddy. So like that's one way to do it. So not only can Archie make her laugh and smile like no one else has ever done, but he can get a rise out of her dad, which is something that is an extra little bonus because she genuinely does care about Archie. Because as soon as she finds out that Archie had a concussion, she goes out and she runs. She wants to get a car, no, get a helicopter to fly all the way to the hospital so that she can take care of her Archiekins, and it's really sweet because you see that she genuinely cares about Archie, especially in the scene where she gets to the hospital and she's taking care of him and she's just holding his hand by his bedside, and you see the little hearts. It's cute. It's really subtle, but it's cute. You can tell that she genuinely cares about Archie, and of course when Betty is on a little bit of a date with Saeed, she goes to Pops' place for like a burger or a milkshake or whatever. And Pops, being the local gossip of Riverdale, he knows everything that goes on. And he says, "Hey Betty, have you heard? Archie, he's in the hospital. He got a concussion. He got hit with something." It's like, "What did he get hit?" And Betty's like, "Of course. What did he get hit by?" It says, "A softball." And she's like, "Oh my God, it was my fault. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." So she rushes out to go after Archie, like to go to the hospital and check on Archie. And then she meets up with Archie's parents. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's my fault. I'm sorry. It was my softball. I didn't mean to. I promise. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." But of course, Archie's parents understand. They know Betty. They've grown up around Betty. I mean, Betty's grown up around them because not only was Archie her, boyfriend, but Betty and Archie were best friends since they were kids, like since kindergarten. So of course they know it wasn't Betty's fault. And I like showing that bond between Betty and the Andrews family. Really cool. And of course, her and Jughead are still on the outs with Archie, so this kind of still makes her feel bad about that whole thing with that big fight because they tried to get Reggie involved to break up Veronica and Archie. So yeah, there's still that little bit of tension there. And towards the end, we've got Reggie pulling his dick move towards the very very end, where it's like Reggie reads Veronica's diary, basically the transcripted diary that the lady has written down for Veronica, and he finds out that Archie was the person that knocked down the Lodge Manor the first time when it was being constructed, and he tells this to Veronica's father, and of course Veronica's father's like obviously furious. You see the look on his face right here, and Reggie's just got that smug ass smile, like, "So, mind if I join you?" And so, next issue, like, Veronica's father's gonna have a fit. He's gonna, like, forbid her from seeing Archie. But as you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know how it is when you're a teenager. If your parents tell you you're not allowed to see somebody, that'll just make you want to see him more. And you even see so from this image right here, this really sweet Romeo and Juliet-esque image with Veronica. Oh, that was a weird swoon. I don't even know what noise that was. But the sigh, and like Archie trying to sneak out. You don't know what happened there. You don't know what was going down. Like what kind of activities were going down. I'm not even gonna put that connection in your heads because obviously it's Archie. But you got Mr. Lodge in the window there. That's really cool. I like it. I'm really excited to see what happens next issue. Like the whole forbidden love angle, I feel like will romanticize it even more for Veronica, which like will strengthen her relationship with Archie, I feel like. And I am a Team Veronica person, like all the way, so I 100% support this. Fun issue. I liked all the subplots that, Wade even tries his best to make me care about Reggie, but Reggie is just somebody I will never like unless they give him Reggie is more of a dick than Biff and Flash Thompson and any of the other stereotypical high school bully characters we've seen Because he's the original. Nobody gives a shit. I hate Reggie, but oh well. I'm glad to see Betty, is still trying to be friends with Archie. I really like that she's moving on, that Betty has a chance to get character development here outside of Archie, and that Archie and Veronica are allowed to have their own relationship without Betty just always being like, she's no good for him. I like that she doesn't like her, like personality wise, but at the same time, she respects the fact that that Veronica does genuinely care about Archie, and all she cares about is Archie being happy. It's very realistic, and it's also like very natural. Like I'm glad that all these characters get rounded amounts of development, great artwork. I love Archie, as you guys can tell, and I give Archie number 6 a 4.75 out of 5. This was my pick of the week, and if you want to check out my full countdown, you can hop on over to my channel, Mr. J's Comic Reviews, and check out my latest comic book countdown episode, which just went up earlier as I'm recording this video for Frontline. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. And don't forget to leave this video a like to let me know you enjoyed it. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to Comic Frontline just yet, go ahead and down below and hit that subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. Listen to Frontline live on iTunes. We are proud members of the Comic Podcast Network, so definitely go check us out on there. And as always, don't forget to follow the social media for Comic Frontline, Twitter and Facebook, Comic Frontline. Anyway, all the plugs out of the way, this has been Jay from Mr. J's Comic Reviews for Comic Frontline, and until the next Archie review, I'll see you next month in Riverdale. Peace.